Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with Adam's really strange hand movements. This is the Scariest Podcast. I'm Rom Grace. This is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And today we are here to read you your homegrown horrors. Adam, please tell us, what is a homegrown horror?
They're things with stuff in them. No, a homegrown
That
horror
sounds gross.
is essentially a spooky story that you send us. It can be spooky, it can be scary, it can be creepy, I guess crawly. I think I'm just quoting like a toy product from like the 1990s where you could like cook your like little like creepy crawlers. Do you remember that thing?
Did you ever do the Harry Potter one?
Easy bake oven for dudes. No. I remember when it came out, but I didn't do that. Anyways, but your homegrown horrors can be stories that are spiritual, they can be scary, paranormal, supernatural in some way. You could have sleep paralysis, night terrors. It could be coincidental. Those ones are usually really funny because it's like, I thought it was a demon and it turns out I'm dumb. So if you have anything like that, they can send them to us and we will read them on the Storytime episodes, which we do live, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Wednesday. And then if you just don't want to watch us live because, you know, you're just like that, it's fine. You can listen to them. They come out every Friday, and it's a fun time then, too. But Robin, for folks who wanted to send us their stories, where can they send them to?
So, if you folks would like to send your stories to us, you can send them to storytime@scariest.com.
It's an email address. Yeah.
Or our website, scariest.com. We have a contact us page. You can fill out the form there, and we get the emails that way. Or you can contact us at any of our social medias. So, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is probably more difficult to use for me because I don't know how to use it.
Twitter?
And I don't know how to use the messaging system. It's difficult.
If you guys know how, we will figure it out. So however you can get a hold of us.
And Instagram and stuff like that. So.
Go for it.
Did I already say Instagram? I don't know.
You did say Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
You got all three. You got the big three. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have a Discord. If you go to scarish.com and you scroll down on the right-hand side, you'll see a little Discord icon. Click on that. If you've never used Discord before, it's like AOL Instant Chat Messenger for those of you who are as old as me, except everyone's in the chat and there's a bunch of channels and it's super, super fun. So if you've never used AOL Instant Messenger because you're super young, fuck you. It's just basically a chat app where you can just jump in there and join a server, which, you know, groups you together with people that share like interests, and our server is just called Scarish. So those are the ways that you can reach out to us. So we have 2 each, plus like a short shout-out type email. My mom was kind of briefing me on it. She said it's not exactly a story, but it's something that...
I think I'll do that one first.
You want to do that one first?
Yeah, I'll do that one super quick.
Cool. Go for it.
So that we can feel good about ourselves, and then we can start reading the stories.
Okay.
So, is that really douchey of me?
It's a little bit self-serving, but because it's about me, also I'm like, yeah, go for it.
I've had a really long, stressful day. I want to feel good about myself.
I got out of work early, and I got to come home and do like my 3rd shopping for Thanksgiving, and then tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So yeah, that's going to be a fun time.
All right, so this one is from Lizzie, and it goes, "Hey guys.
Hello.
Not a story. But I've been listening to you guys for over a year, and no way can I be a ghost listener any longer."
Shout out to all our ghost listeners who have never contacted us or reached out in any way, shape, or form.
Our ghost viewers, too. We know you're out there. We see you.
We have better statistics now, and we know there's a whole lot of you. So shout out to all of you. We still appreciate you.
So you both have been such good company to me as I've moved away to college. Thank you for scaring me and making me laugh, also without the creepy voice narrative. There are a lot of podcasts that do that. The super serious, even watching BuzzFeed Unsolved when I think it's Ryan has the voice where when he's telling about the cases, he's very serious voiced, and then Shane has to come in and bring in the comedy and stuff like that. But thank you. Yes, I am glad we don't have creepy voice narrative. We're really straightforward. And
we don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, we don't take it too seriously.
Sometimes they're really serious topics, but we want to just enjoy casual conversation with one another so that way you guys can feel right at home listening to it.
Yeah, because really these are just conversations between the two of us where we make fun of each other.
It's not like we're telling a narratively driven story cast where it's like there's all this ambiance in the background and we're telling like really creepy tales that we've written to try and sound scary. It's like I say like "Oi!" in like every episode or "Yo dog," so it's not like we're like really on our grind to make it super creepy or anything.
All right. So also to and from college drives home with my mom. We always listen to you guys. That's nice. I'm glad your mom's not like, what is this trash?
Right. What is this garbage?
She shared it with some ladies at work too. Holla!
Shout out to you ladies. Thank you so much.
Anyway, I was listening to some favorite episodes of yours when I noticed my phone percentage in the corner. All I could think was "nice" in Adam's voice, and I laughed so hard to myself outside in my co-op's backyard, out into the street like a weirdo.
I opened the picture before I forwarded it, which did not come through.
It says 69.
It says 69 in the top right-hand corner, which means nice.
I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me after work, loving and listening from Corvallis, Oregon, and Oregon State. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's cool.
out.
P.S. I shared you guys with some nice ladies at my work. They love you. Black-eyed children.
That's so funny.
That's cute. Thank you so much for sending that email. I mean, we love that we can brighten up days. And sometimes, like today, I was like, maybe we should just do seasons. So we just make a couple episodes and do a season and then take a break.
Nah.
But when we hear stuff like that, it's like, aw, we do good.
I feel like people do, I don't know about rely or depend on us, but they're just used to the show launching and we don't miss days. And I think that's very important. You know, I think we're a mainstay with certain people. Whoever listens to us knows that Tuesday an episode comes out and Friday an episode comes out. And Adam and Robin will be silly and goofy on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I think it's a good thing. I've thought about that too, the seasonal thing, and I don't think that this podcast is like the right format, you know, for seasons. But I do like the way that we shift out of specific narratives, like how we had Serial Killer season.
Yeah.
That's really fun to do. So, but yeah, thank you for sending that in. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
It reminds me of that meme where it's like, what it's like listening to podcasts, and it's a kid sitting there like eating a bowl of cereal, like
and
laughing next to a poster of 3 people laughing. And it's like, I feel the same way when I listen to all the podcasts I listen to, but you folks are so amazing. It's like you actually reach out to us so we don't feel like a poster. We actually feel like we're interacting with you. So,
yeah.
Awesome. Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Way to start the show like that.
So this next email is titled Preteen Ouija. It's spelled Ouija, and it always just throws me off. Maybe it's pronounced Ouija. Do you know?
I think it's pronounced Ouija.
Okay. Anyway, it's from Julia, and it goes, "Hi, Scary-ish family. Adam, Robin, Mom, and Oben babies included."
Oh my god.
Cute.
Hello. And the dogs and the cat say hello as well.
I'm sure they go bark, bark, and meow, meow.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
I think one of them quacked because they're confused. So they have identity issues.
I think the one with the identity issue is the cat.
You think so? She thinks she's a dog.
I think yeah, for sure. Okay. I've been listening to you all for a long time, thanks to Spotify, and enjoy the two of you so much.
Shout out
Thank
to Spotify.
you. I've been meaning to write in and share a story from my preteen-hood. Oh, wait, hold on. It doesn't mean like preteen where you lived. It's preteen-hood. But shoot. But have honestly been waiting for my acrylic nails to come off so I can type quickly. I can totally relate. Not to the acrylicness, but I had gel nails and they grew so long and I couldn't even unlock my phone with my fingers anymore because I couldn't like reach down far enough. I get the feels. All right. So
you get the feels? Is that a new phrase I didn't know about?
Well, I get the feeling. I'm there. I'm there with you. I relate.
Gotcha. I don't relate to that, but I understand. So I guess that matters. Maybe not. Keep going, though.
When I was a baby goth, oh, that's so cute. When I was a baby goth, around 11 or 12, I started getting into occultism and reading up on contacting the other side. I had a few friends that were also interested, so in middle school, we started having weekly sleepovers to experiment with Ouija boards and spells. For some reason, we ventured out to Toys R Us, and
the spookiest of the spooky.
And purchased a glow-in-the-dark Ouija board to mess around with. The one thing that we did not look into were if there were any rules to playing said Ouija board. So naturally, we broke every single one. I think it's important to read rules before you play games.
Honestly, I don't remember ever reading the rules with the Ouija board, and we used to play around with it when I was younger, too. So you're not alone with that. Like, you don't really know exactly what you're supposed to do. It's just like, all you know is that you are supposed to be playing with something that everyone says is fake, and that other people that don't say it's fake say you're not supposed to play with it, so you just do whatever. Like, I had no idea you're supposed to say goodbye. So probably explains a lot of the stuff that's happened. Who knows?
We played in the basement. It was finished, Robin, don't worry, during a massive thunderstorm.
It's the safest place to be during a thunderstorm.
But it's like the elements, you know? Let's play with the Ouija board while the elements are afoot.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. We didn't cast any sort of protection circle and asked basically every question we weren't supposed to. We messed around for a few minutes and then asked what its name was. It was Oliver, and then asked how he died. Very shortly after asking that, a very loud bout of thunder rang nearby. The table lamps fell off the side tables, and the lights went out.
That's terrifying.
That is absolutely terrifying.
Tell me someone was playing with a circuit breaker, or like the breaker. What the fuck are the
Yeah,
things
but
called?
it wouldn't explain the table lamps falling off the side tables.
Nah, they're on strings, dog. Yeah, those are on strings.
When lightning hit, it brightened outside enough for me and one other girl to see a dark figure standing behind the window. The closest way I described what it looked like would be a Dementor from Harry Potter,
Wow.
but without a sucky skeleton face under the hood. That's all I'm going to imagine now. That was plenty to scare the pants off of us, and we quickly threw the board in the corner without closing the session. Of course. It felt like I didn't sleep for a few months because every time I shut all of my lights off, I could feel something in the room with me. My mother wouldn't let me sleep with the lights on, which was rude as fuck.
That's funny.
And she thought I was making everything up. I would see Oliver out of the corner of my eyes almost everywhere I went. The other girl that saw him was experiencing similar things, but at least her mother bought her some protection crystals to wear. That is a cool mom. That's kind of nice.
I think that mom was just like, maybe my house is haunted. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that, we can drive this spirit out. Because if your mom is just like, whatever, you still have to sleep in the dark. Chances of possession increase, I think, by like tenfold at that point.
It finally stopped one night when I was home alone and had to yell and confront it to leave me alone. Over 10 years later, I refused to go near Ouija boards, even though I work in a damn gothy witch shop. I love gothy stuff, dude. I wish I could decorate like my corner of the office in super cool.
Your corner of the office? Please just take a moment to look to your right, then look to your left. Then look all around and tell me which one of these is your corner.
I mean, like, my working desk over there.
She has 2 desks in 2 corners of this office.
That's not the point. Anyway, where was I? Shit.
Gothy witch place.
So it was one of the first things I would try to sell people when I first started working there, so it'd leave the store. So you're just like, oh, fuck you guys. You guys should get this Ouija board because I don't want it in here.
Wow.
That's so freaking funny. Okay. So if you're ever in Rhode Island and need some spooky spots to visit, feel free to swing by and I'd be more than happy to help you out. Thanks for being patient with my rambling. Love y'all, Julia. That is absolutely hilarious that you work in a witchy store. I totally would stop there if we ever got to Rhode Island.
Here it's a very small state, so it shouldn't be too hard to find.
It's the smallest state.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was getting at.
Okay. But thank you for sending your story. Ouija stories are just so scary to me because it could happen. It could actually.
So many people say such similar stuff too. Yeah. Where it's like they didn't follow the rules. Then after that, they started to see stuff all over the place, and everyone involved started to see stuff all over the place, and it's really scary. And it's one of those rules that I have is just not to mess with it. It's better to not pierce whatever veil possibly exists than to thumb your nose at it thinking like, well, maybe it doesn't exist, so fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just stay clear of those things. But, yeah, good shit. So I'm going to go ahead and move into my first story / email, whatever, of the night or the show, depending.
Okay.
Are you going to read more chat even though I started? I knew that's what you were going to do.
But Miss Zilla says you can't ship alcohol.
You can't ship alcohol? You can't ship a lot of things. Wink. Just saying. All right. So my story's subject is visitors when I'm alone, and it goes a little something like this. The sun was setting, and it was starting to get dark outside. I was just chilling in the living room alone, watching TV, as I always do. To the left of our couch is the door to our backyard, so you could always see what was going on in the backyard if you faced a little bit to the left. So I was watching TV when suddenly, at the left corner of my eye, someone dressed in white passed by our backyard door.
Why are they always dressed in white? Why don't they change it up and wear purple?
Wow. It's either white or black.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Or like red, you know?
Red's a devil. Like that's the devil.
Yeah.
You know it is.
But it's like, switch it up. Green, red. I mean, we already discussed red, purple, you know, change it up. Cute colors.
Pastels, come
on. Pastels.
I immediately stood up and went out, thinking it was a visitor looking for my mom. In parentheses, my mom's friends used to come over quite often. But I saw no one. I thought nothing of it, assuming it was just my imagination. Fast forward a few months, I was chilling on the couch again, but this time I was laying down, facing the door and using my phone. It happened again. I saw a man pass by outdoor. This time, I thought it was a trespasser, but he was wearing normal clothes. Again, I checked, and nobody was there. Fast forward another few months. Again, I was chilling on the couch. I was laying down, but facing away from the backyard door. So what I could see in my vision was the inside of our house. I was on my phone watching videos on YouTube, and then someone walked into my peripherals and stood in front of me, stared at me for a second, and walked away like nothing happened. The funny thing is,
how do you not freak out?
I didn't realize that happened until it walked out of my sight. This time I got a little scared. I stood up and went to check if someone was in the house, but then again, nobody was there. Why did it take you so long to look up from your fucking phone? I made myself believe that it was just my imagination because I was alone at home, and I couldn't leave the house unguarded. This all happened when I was home alone. That is the end of the email. Now, I'm not one to take a stance of fucking millennials, but I think if there was ever a stance of fucking millennials to be taken,
okay,
how
boomer.
do you not look up from your phone? I'm a millennial. My biggest gripe with Robin is there's some times where I'm like, it's like being a little kid where it's like, look at me right now. But it's something where it's like, she would actually want to see, and it is time sensitive. I always tell her, like, you're going to miss our kids' first steps because you're going to be on your fucking phone. Because I'm always like, hey, check this out. And she just refuses to look over for whatever reason. So I can't imagine how many ghosts and ghouls and goblins and demons have tried to haunt Robin, but have just given up because her attention span isn't something for haunting.
I just don't have the focus, and I just can't pay attention.
I just imagine so many ghosts trying to do hauntings are all so annoyed because they're like, it's like they don't even care.
I've been watching Bring It On Ghost. It's a Korean drama on Netflix.
Is it a mixture of Bring It On and Ghost? Because
no,
those
that would be cool, though.
Would be an amazing mashup that would make absolutely no fucking sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense, but like ghost cheerleaders, how cute would that be?
I mean,
super cute.
You've seen Ghost, right? There just need to be a lot of Patrick Swayze in the movie for it to work.
Oh, you're talking about like mixing the movie Ghost with the movie Bring It On?
Yes.
I was thinking you were making the cheerleaders ghosts.
They would cheer to that one song like, My Love.
Okay. Okay.
All right, that's everything I got for that one. So before we move on to our next story, I just want to shout out some folks that followed us on our Twitch channel while we were not live on air. We have Natty Jai, I think that's how you say it, who subscribed using their own money 6 days ago. We have O Mac and Black, who also followed us. We have Teumbra. We have Dim Sunny, who subscribed, also using their own money. Izzy Peach followed. Annette23 also followed. Goofy Cure followed when you folks weren't listening when we were talking to other people.
I did bring it up.
And awesome. And then M Meadows89 also followed. Actually, M Meadows89 gifted a subscription over to Mrs. Zilla. Before we move on to our next story, we're going to try a quick ad break on Twitch. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and re-record that because it doesn't make sense to anyone who's listening to it in podcast form. I don't know what that was.
Wait, hold on. Let me try and do turkeys. Wait, how does the turkey sound? It's not working. Thank you so much. This is a fucking
just ridiculous bullshit break we're taking right now.
Thank you so much, Munchie0. Oh, is that a 9?
Munchie01.
Thank you
for following us. So we're just going to take a quick commercial break really fast and be back with more stories.
All right, so my next email here is from Billy, and the subject is Sleep Paralysis Tales. It goes, Hey, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hey. So excited to be emailing you guys. I love Scary-ish so much.
Aw, thank you.
We love it too.
It's alright. I love it. I love it so much.
I feel like nothing truly spooky ever happens to me, so I really enjoy listening to other people's stories. I have, however, had a few gnarly sleep paralysis episodes, so I thought I'd tell you about one in particular that still haunts me a decade on. As a child, say 6 through 9. I mean,
6
those
to
are
9. It's the second 69 reference of the episode. Shout out to the 69 sex position.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh my God.
I imagine somewhere on a couch there's a radio playing like next to it, and there's like a 6 and a 9 that has like legs and arms, and I'm like, oh my God, they talked about me.
I had no idea what sleep paralysis was, but would often be trapped inside a dream screaming for my mom, whilst a dark person-shaped shadow sat on my feet at the end of the bed. I couldn't move my legs. I would sit up and try to pull my legs with my hands, but nothing happened. And of course, no noise was ever coming out of my mouth.
That sucks.
That's the scariest part of those things, is like you scream and you scream and you scream and nothing ever comes out, and then one little peep comes out finally.
One croak.
Yeah, and then you wake up. It's just, man, whenever that used to happen to me, it's the worst.
I don't know how I was able to develop an ability to get out of any dream once I realized I was in a nightmare, but I'm very thankful I developed that ability, which is just to clench your eyes so goddamn tight that you clench them in real life.
Have you ever tried to clench something else?
Like by a butthole?
Yes.
No. I clench my eyes so that when I open my eyes, I actually lift my eyelids in real life, and I'm staring at a dark ceiling. It wouldn't work with clenching your butthole because you'd clench your butthole really, really tight, and then when you opened your butthole, you'd wake up shitting your pants. So no, I've never developed that way to wake up from a dream. Nor do I want to. But hey, if it's a really bad nightmare and it works for you, hey, go ahead, poop the bed. Do what you need to do.
Oh, God. Okay, hold on. Where am I? Okay, when I spoke about these dreams the following morning, they would be called nightmares. I know now that shit was not nightmares. Fast forward to when I was around 20, I'm 31 now. I was still living with my parents, but in a different house. It was a bungalow surrounded by fields and farms. One night, I'm asleep and some weird stuff starts happening. A ginormous monster shadow is moving across the field behind our house towards my room. I'm watching it through the window and I know it's coming straight for me, so I move to get up, but all I can do is turn my head to the left. To the left is my ensuite bathroom where my little waste bin starts shooting across the floor so fast back and forth, making the noise that plastic scraping against tile makes. I start to scream for my family. I just wanted to get anyone. I know I need to wake up, so I fumble for my lamp and turn the light on, and instantly feel better that it's not dark. I get up and out of bed, and I'm so relieved to be awake and out of it. I go to my door to see someone and get some normalcy, and my door won't open. I'm dragging down on the door handle, pulling my door with everything I have, and it's moving slightly, but it's being resisted as if someone is holding it shut from the other side. Then my fucking bin starts going in the bathroom again, sliding really fast across the floor, backwards and forwards. I was in an absolute state, like, how is this happening? I'm awake. So I scream and fight with the door, and somewhere in my mind, I realize I'm still trapped in this thing. I'm actually pinned to the bed. I can't move, and I need to wake up. I don't know how or what brought me out of it, but it wasn't long after that I suddenly woke up gasping and felt the rigidity leave my body. My throat was raw, from where my screaming must have been coming out as low throat noises. My lamp hadn't been turned on, my waste bin was sitting calmly in the corner of the bathroom, everything was perfectly normal.
That's pretty fucking
That's
terrifying.
a terrifying dream.
Yeah,
the
it's a night
feeling
terror,
of being
straight up.
trapped, that freaks me out, for sure. I swear I honestly thought I'd been possessed. I actually told my family, I think I was possessed last night. They must have been side-eyeing each other like, okay.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say.
I was so scared to go to bed the following night, but I now always sleep with the door open, and fortunately, it's only ever happened a couple of times since then.
A couple of times?
And yeah, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Once is one too many. It's only ever happened a couple times since then, and while always scary, nothing has stuck with me as much as that night. I'll never forget it. It wasn't actually until a few years after that I even heard the term sleep paralysis, and it was such a light bulb moment, like, cool, I probably wasn't possessed by a ghost with a thing for bins.
That's funny.
Anyway, that's my sort of spooky experience. Hope you liked it. Keep up the great work with the podcast. I work alone from home, so I really appreciate having you in my ears. Take care, Billy. P.S.
It's gonna sound weird, but we appreciate being in your ears, Billy. What?
I'm just imagining that one scary movie where the dick goes through that dude's ears.
Wow. And you made a look at the camera like I was the asshole, and that's what you bring to the conversation.
Anyway, so P.S. I actually remembered my most recent sleep paralysis episode, which is kind of hilarious looking back at it. Now living in a house with my fiance, we sleep in separate rooms because he's a snorer. I sleep with the door wide open, which looks down the length of our hallway to his room, where he has the door closed. I think I'm awake in the night and looking into the hallway, and a black shadow is coming towards me. So I panic and turn my lamp on, and knowing, quote unquote, knowing I'm awake now, my light is on. I turn to look back at the hallway, and the entire Simpsons family, including Grandpa, is standing in my hallway right outside my bedroom door. That sounds like the Raven.
Does it, though? Does it, Robin?
They were super sinister looking. I was so scared, but luckily this was so ridiculous I knew I was stuck inside my mind again and somehow brought myself out of it. I turned my light on for real, took some deep breaths, and spent the rest of the night on my phone. I don't even watch The Simpsons, so I really don't want to see them hanging out in my hallway ever again.
That's hilarious. I would recommend from now on, every time you turn on your lamp or your light, you also pinch yourself just to make sure you're awake. Because the pinch yourself thing actually works.
Really?
Yeah. You pinch yourself in your dream, it never, ever, ever hurts. You imagine it should be hurting, but when you pinch yourself IRL, you know that is you're awake. You know you're awake because you know what pinching feels like, and it hurts. So I would go ahead and start doing that. Because those are weirder sleep paralysis, like hallucinations than we've heard before. I know we've had people talk about specific stuff coming after them while they're sleeping, which is definitely terrifying. But it sounds like you're being stuck in a dream while your body is still paralyzed because you're, sleeping. So it's like a mixture of night terrors and sleep paralysis. So either way, hopefully that starts to go away and you don't have to experience it as much because that definitely sounds terrifying.
Super scary.
So I'm going to move into my last email of the show, and the subject for this one is Adam should read Sleepwalking/Unexpected Goodbye. And it starts out like this. Hi, Robin and Batman.
That's you.
Hello. It's always fun when this old trope comes back up and my name is done incorrectly. However, Batman's a pretty good replacement for my name. Brandon again. I wrote in a few weeks ago with my father's stories. I ended it with a couple of mine, but I have 2 more for you. Hopefully with these 2 stories, they'll be the last time I ever have to write into you guys, for they are the only 2 stories I have yet to share. So let's cross our fingers and hope that you don't have any more paranormal stuff happening to you after this, so this can be the end of your correspondence with us. But you can still talk to us, just don't have to tell us about creepy stuff happening to you. This first one's called Sleepwalking Story. When I was about 10 or so, in parentheses, I lived in the same house where I saw the shadow people. I had been sick and stayed home from school. I slept the entire day, and late at night, probably between 8 and 10, I quote-unquote woke up, and I walked to the area of the house where my family was enjoying a late dinner of burritos. They were greeting me as I walked over the trash can that had the cool foot pedal that opens the lid. I pressed the pedal, pulled down my pajamas, and proceeded to urinate into the trash can while staring at my family.
That is so gross.
I don't know if I was sleepwalking for sure or not, or just really tired walking. Either way, I'd hope that you were on, cruise control and you weren't deliberately doing this. I remember the entire thing, so that's why I'm not sure, but it felt like a dream. The worst part of this story is that my family had bought me a burrito, but since I walked away and went back to sleep, my father took it for work the next day, and I didn't get my damn burrito.
It's kind of funny.
I would do more than just take your burrito if you walked into the kitchen, opened the garbage can, and just peed in it. I'd be like, all right, this kid, there's something wrong. He's going to get punished.
I mean, the fact that he looked at the family, and was just like, I don't know. It's just, if someone was sleepwalking and looked at me, I'd be like, this kid is not fucking sleepwalking. Gross.
That is gross. But you know what? I understand. Sometimes weird stuff happens when you're sleepwalking. Story number 2. Get ready. It's a long one. That's what it says. And I also agree. I'm looking at it right now, and it is pretty long. It starts out like this. Lately, the past 2 or 3 years, really, I've felt entirely sad and at times have felt borderline suicidal. While I knew I would never take my own life because I honestly love life and people in it make me so happy, so my sadness to me can only be summed up to major momentary depression. Most of the time I'm very happy and everything's fine, and suddenly for one reason or another, I feel completely crushed and hopeless. Nowadays, it's because of my shitty job to which I used to love and my god-awful supervisor, who is just an asshole, an absolute asshole to me and the only other black dude. That sucks. It really sucks having a really bad boss because they definitely ruin a job. I've talked to people who have been happy at the same place for years, decades, and as soon as you have a boss that is just not good, it changes literally everything, so that blows. Luckily, the other black dude is an amazing guy, and he looks out for me. The best coworker I've had the pleasure of working with.
Aw, that's
but
cool.
I cannot wait to be rid of this job, which I cannot quit at the moment because it just pays too well. Anyways, the reason why I bring this up is because of something that has defined me as a person. For me, I feel this story needs some backstory, so I'll start in the beginning. In 2002-ish, I made a friend who I will call Ed. Ed and I were basically inseparable. He was my best friend consistently all the way till about 6th grade, which was only 4 or 5 years or so, but it felt longer. In 5th grade, Ed introduced me to another boy. We'll call him Anthony, which is his actual name. Anthony wasn't a kid I was fond of, but some time ago I was playing with a ball and he kicked it away from me and I had to chase it down.
What a dickhead.
What a jerk, right? LOL, kids get upset over the funniest things. What I didn't know is that Anthony would become one of my best friends as Ed and I grew apart. Anthony got me into Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is hilarious. I love that game, which is still my favorite Nintendo 64 title. We had cool airsoft wars with our other friends. It was the best. Oh, and I should mention that I lived in one school district, but since at the time my mother worked in another, I went to the school in the district that she worked in.
That's kind of cool.
In 2008, she would be laid off, so I had to start my high school career in the district I lived in. I kept my old friends, and we all still hung out since the distance wasn't that far, but I wasn't there to hang out with Anthony at school anymore, so he went back to hanging out with Ed and his friends more. Ed had started getting into some gateway drugs, in parentheses, primarily weed, I think, but those drugs are super impactful on 13-year-olds, you know?
Holy crap, they're so young.
But Anthony and my 2 other great friends, in parentheses, who I am also friends with to this day, I'm even I'm even my one friend's son's godfather. Came up during the summer for my birthday, and Anthony's birthday is only 4 days after mine, so we hung out for his birthday as well at his house. Fast forward through lots of nights of World of Warcraft with Anthony and other friends, and we're now at the start of second semester of freshman year. I came home from school and was playing on the computer as usual. That was when the phone started ringing. I went to go answer it, and the number was from Ed's house, which I thought was curious because Ed and I didn't really talk anymore, and even weirder, when I answered the phone, it was Ed's father. He didn't greet me, he just asked if my mother was home, and I said yes, found my mom, and handed her the phone, then went back to my computer. About 15 minutes went by when I heard my mom call me from across the house. I got to the den door, and my mom was just walking through the sliding glass door. In parentheses, it was about 25 feet, and her face. At the age of 14, most kids don't receive bad news. It's weird. Thinking back on it, I couldn't tell that she hadn't any clue how to drop such a heavy truth on her child, so she just says from across the house, Anthony's dead.
What the F?
I was frozen.
How do you
Right. Is no easy way to tell your kid something like that, but that definitely doesn't seem like the best of ways to do it. I was frozen as those two words rang through my head. How do you go from funny nights on Ventrilo playing Warcraft with your best friend to your best friend being dead? It's been nearly 12 years, and I can't say I'll ever have the answer to that one. What had happened was Anthony, Ed, and their other friends were caught at school smoking weed, therefore they were sent home. I'll never know why, but something in Anthony, whether it be guilt or fear of how his mom would react when she got home, or who the fuck knows, told him to kill himself. So he went home and shot himself. Not that
13 or 14?
Yeah, I think it was 14.
Jeez.
Not that it isn't obvious, but suicide has life-changing consequences, not just for the victim, but for everyone who is connected to them. I've never written about this and have only told a small handful of people. Anthony made my life better, and our friendship was certainly not one I ever thought would happen. That day, the boy kicked my soccer ball away from me. I have dreams of him from time to time and think of him often. What would he look like? Would we still be friends? Would he be married? I'll never have the answers. But as I look at the photo of him I used to keep in my wallet, in parentheses, it's since faded and gotten damaged due to wallets not being all that protective and the constant movement, I see a child now. He will always look like a 14-year-old boy. I'm sorry to have gotten all sappy there, but I send this email in remembrance and to maybe, just maybe, help someone else out there. May they hear this episode in time. We all love you and want you to have a beautiful life. Thank you for reading this. I know it's lengthy, but I'm sure you understand. So thank you for sending that in.
Yeah, thank you
We
so
really
much.
appreciate it. And I know a lot of people growing up who did quote-unquote gateway drugs, and living in a state right now that has like marijuana legalized and things like that. I can tell you that there's no reason to instill so much fear in a person of consequences of being caught doing something that's, deemed to be bad, that they need to do something that extreme. And that is the most extreme thing that you could ever possibly do. And it's definitely a sad thing that your mom decided to tell you in that way. Because I can't even imagine trying to tell my kid that I don't have, that their friend passed away, let alone tell them, by shouting it across the house.
Yeah.
We definitely want everyone to understand that no matter how low you get, that there's always people out there that definitely want you to stick around.
Yeah.
And there's two of us, and there's definitely two people that are sitting here right now telling you that we definitely want you to stick around if you're listening to this. So it's a weird thing to talk about, so... I just want to reiterate the fact that everyone matters, and we hope everyone has a chance to be happy, even if you're not happy right now. So I guess that's everything that we have for this week. Thank you to everyone who sent in their stories. Sometimes stories are really fun to read, sometimes stories are really funny, and sometimes they're serious and sad.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that everyone knows that this is a place where you can feel safe sharing the stories that you have, and it's not easy to share sometimes, so we do appreciate everyone that sends stuff in. And if you have a story you would like to send us, you can email storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us. Fill out that form. It comes directly to us. You can also hit us up on any of our social medias. Facebook is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter is @scarishpod, and Instagram is @scarishpodcast. Robin, for folks who would like to donate to us monetarily like some folks did tonight, how can they do so?
You can donate during streams. You can donate off streams. There's a link down in our description. You can also go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast, and those are monthly donations. And there's a whole bunch of different tiers you can check out. We have gotten so many new patrons lately, and I'm so incredibly thankful. You guys are absolutely amazing. It's funny when I have to keep going to the post office You guys are awesome, and it makes me really happy. So thank you so much. It really is super supportive. You can go to ko-fi.com/scaryish-podcast. Those are one-time donations, and they go to upgrade our studio setup. So we pile up all that money and do things like buy a new system we can stream off of and stuff like that. So thank you so much to everybody who has donated in the past. We really couldn't do this without you, and we can't do it without you guys in the future. So thank you.
Indeed. For those of you who are watching live, enjoy your Thanksgiving tomorrow. For those of you who are listening on podcast release day, be safe on Black Friday. We hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving. And for those of you who are listening in the future, enjoy whatever fucking day it is, because we hope you have a really nice day.
Yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out of, if you are in a dark place, you get out of that dark place, because you can do it. You can do it.
Right on. I think that's everything we have for you folks.
Si
So Robin,
se puede.
go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on grooving on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.